Hello, Susan Watts. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me for the first international network meeting for women and non-binary people in Yiddish culture. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's wonderful, wonderful to be part of this.
And let's just get started. I have a few questions that I would like to ask you. And my first question is, how is it being a woman or a non-binary person in Yiddish culture today?
Well, I guess that's a big, broad question. In one sense, for me, it's wonderful to be a woman because there are other women that are active in Klezmer and Yiddish culture, and I love working with women, and so I get to interact and work with women on kind of unprecedented other areas. You don't get to, like jazz music, there's not like a ton of women. Not that there's a ton of women in Klezmer, but there are enough that I could put together that program with 12 women, and there are more. I didn't even include all of them. So there are women there in order to be collegiate with. How is it being a woman in terms of power roles? Well, that's a different story. Much of the power roles are by men. Boards of things are men, heads of things are men, directors of things are men, and kind of successful individual careers are men for the most part. And so that's something that I have faith in the men, that they're woke enough to realize that they need to make a concerted effort to open up these spaces to the women in their lives, so that we can also have a voice and we can also be part of the complete program.
Have you always, I think you're talking right now also about like Klez Canada and other festivals around the world, correct?
Well, I'm not only talking about Klez Canada. Mm-hmm. I'm talking, yes, I'm talking about Klez Canada, but again, not only. When I say the structure, I'm also talking about like the world music structure, like how you get a gig, or how you put a tour together, or how you network, how you mentor. It's all very man-based, and people have, like Alana, she's amazing how she kind of breaks through that stuff, and she's a huge example of a woman in power. She really creates her own spaces with which to express all the different parts of her and other people, and she also toured her band, a very successful band, and so she's somebody that I look to for somebody in power. She is creating her own space for power.
Did you have to create your own space for power as well?
Well, I don't know that I have power, but I've had the opportunity, given the opportunity by other people. I didn't kind of make my own opportunities, which is what Alana does. She makes her own opportunities. But I was given the opportunity by other people to do things, to do projects that I chose to be with women because I love working with women. So I don't feel like I necessarily am a power broker. I just feel like I've been given opportunities to do projects, and I've been given those opportunities by women who have more power than I do. So, this grant I got a very huge grant to do an amazing project, and the people that applied for the grant, the Philadelphia Folklore Project, all women. And they applied to the Pew Foundation, and there were some women there, along with men. So I was in a space where there was a lot of women working towards this end, which was really nice.
I see.
Yeah.
And have you ever been a band leader when?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
With my mom, I lived with the Fabulous Spielkas, and with my mom, I led the band. So yeah.
Yeah, and did you also work as a side woman?
Yeah, with Frank and So-Called, and yeah, sure. I was in mikveh. I was in the Klez dispensers. Yeah.
And did you experience a different way of leadership when you worked with women or non-binary people, or with men?
Well, let me say this. Yes and no. I feel like with women, I can relate to them differently. Like, I feel a warmth and a comfort with women that is different with men. It's not that I don't feel warmth and comfort with men, but it's different. There's a lot about image that goes into men, with, how are they perceiving me, as opposed with women. I don't have that whole mishigas of sex and appearance, and like none of that exists. There's also I'm used to playing underneath men, and I feel more able to be heard. I not heard, but authentic. I feel more able to be more authentic, and I feel like I don't look for approval from women as the same way I look for approval from men. So that's where the comfort comes in. There's just this whole level of relating that doesn't go on for me. And I'm not saying it's like that for all women. I'm just saying it's like that for me, and that's why I feel a lot of more I feel more comfortable and able to just kind of let nature take its course, as opposed to have worries and second guessing and having limitations put on me, even if those limitations are by my own thoughts. Those thoughts are learned. I just didn't grab them for myself. Society taught me those thoughts and those norms. And growing up as a girl and then a woman, I was taught these things. This is how you relate. And so even though things are changing, I'm still the same person that was taught not to make a lot of noise, or to respect men in a way that you don't respect women. Or, I was taught these things, and here I am. I still have those behavioral mechanisms at work. So when I'm with women, I don't have that shit. It just feels good.